Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the last Insights and Innovation series for the year. This is a very, very special one, which we've taken over for ourselves. We're going to give you a bit of a little summary of last year, an update of some of the things that are happening next year, and then we've got two very special guests, which are two tools that we've discovered that are kind of interesting. So we're going to share those with you in a little kind of power presentation after that. But I do want to say thank you on behalf of the board, the leadership team, the IMAA team for what's been another amazing year, the third year of the IMAA, and things that we've been able to do and the way we've been able to shake up the industry has been absolutely unbelievable. But here is a little summary of hopefully, if this works, a little summary of the year. So guys, that is a little snapshot of what is happening what's happened last couple of years. Let me just make sure I can change this. There we go. Okay, so we're going to do a couple of things. First of all, we're going to introduce the new board. Some of them may be on the call. Jack, you're on the call, I know. So this is the new board. We've got three new wonderful members in the form of Phil McDonald, Angela Smith, and Mel Roberts. So this is the new board. You hear more from them in the not too distant future, and we welcome there. And also now we're going through the process of the new leadership team as well. So we're really, really excited to share those things as well. Our focus for next year in terms of our purpose, D&I will continue, obviously, and the Female Leaders of Tomorrow Phase 2 is going to be a major part of that. Reconciliation, we're going into our Innovate wrap, which is really, really exciting, but also we're going to our immersion trip for the leaders out to Central Australia again. I'll talk to that a little bit later on, but we're going to Blackpack, where we went last year, and Uluru. Sustainability, we're looking at, and we've kind of set up a green team to explore what we're going to do in that section. And then education of the youth is the next big section. So this is making sure we're attracting talent to our industry. We're launching the Academy's Digital 101 as well as publishing news, and also continue to develop and raise the knowledge of our sector. A couple of things that launched today, which was our future insights and trends. So most of you should have had that in your letterbox inbox today, as well as I think the AI guiding principles as well. Two really, really useful tools. The future trends is just good for you guys to white label, add a bit to it if you want, and you can get that to your clients. And the AI is something that we want to lead the conversation with in the sector about how AI it's going to affect our industry in many ways. The two people that we're talking to today, their businesses are built on AI, so we're really, really excited. These emails, sorry, Beck's just written that these will be emailed out this afternoon, to watch your inbox for those. So in the year to come, I'm not going to dial up into these. We've got a whole bunch of different things happening, but I'm going to go through the year and talk about some of the tentpole moments that we're going to have. This is what our very, very messy calendar looks like. So we're really, really excited about all of these different things, but I'll just pull out a couple of key opportunities. Firstly, on the 16th of Jan, we've got an opportunity with Sydney FC, who's reached out to us and said there's two things if we're interested in doing with the leaders. The first one is training with their team. We've got 30 spots. So if you want to train with Sydney FC and meet with them for lunch, we're going to be doing that on the 16th of January, where it's even open up to children as well. So if you're looking out for the kids, you want to bring one of them out there to play with Sydney FC, it's a once in a lifetime experience to work with those. And then there's a match day where this is a networking opportunity. So there will be 30 to 50 CEOs from other businesses. So it's a really good networking opportunity for new business to meet with those in the lounge of Sydney FC, and they're hosting and they're approaching the IMAA to come and join them with it. So if you're looking for new business in 2020, it's a great way to start the year on the 19th. These two things aren't exclusive as well. You might want to go to one without the other. We'll send out a note about this shortly. Then we move to February. February is going to be our first full month, a big month. So we've got our publishing and news event. This is a live event. So if you've got anyone in the academy or even thinking about the academy, this is a must attend event. So this will be happening on the 8th. It'll be held at News Corporation. And I believe most people have a thing, but if you've got any juniors in your office, this again is something that we really want you to lean into. We've built the academy for our members. And it's really, really important that we're all engaged and all involved with the process. It's going to be a fantastic morning. There's going to be headshots for people to make themselves look more professional on LinkedIn. There's going to be talks from editors. There's going to be a lot of wonderful things involved on the day to add a lot of value to people's business. Next, the Greatest Media Show. Now, this is our kickoff event, but we've tweaked it slightly. We have got some amazing content we can't wait to share with you guys. It's in February. It's going to be on the 20th. It's Hoyts in central Melbourne. On the 20th, there is going to be everything from the CMO panels to debates between different media channels to conversations about AI, conversations about your agency's brand. There's a lot of things to talk about. So we'll be slowly announcing these over January, but we can't wait to welcome all of our interstate guests down to Melbourne for this of our first of our big Melbourne event. So we're really excited about that. Clean Up Australia Day. This is going to be happening in March. We're very, very excited about this. It's the 12th of March. We're going to be meeting in central locations in each capital city, and we're going to be sending out communications. It's a great way to get your staff involved, to understand a bit and kind of do something practical around sustainability. So we're really excited about this event. So watch out for the invitations with that. Principal and partner nights will be happening around the country throughout the year. In March, it's going to be happening in WA. So all of our WA members will be getting together around there for a dinner of some kind of event. And then in April, we're going to be launching Digital 101. This will be our biggest and most comprehensive of our modules and probably the most anticipated. Again, we've had over, I think it was 67 different agencies work on this to bring this to life. And this will be the conclusion of round one of our courses. We can't wait to share it with you. We want your feedback, but we want more than anything, everyone to participate and be involved with it. So some agencies have been waiting for all the courses to be released, this is the moment. I'm really, really looking forward to sharing that with you. The FLOT ramp, the female leaders of tomorrow. So that's currently our mentorees, I believe there's 16 of them, are going through this process at the moment. Mentoring. We had some tremendous feedback from Wendy Gower and the team of how it's going. And we'll be wrapping up at this point, and we believe we'll be rolling this on into 2024, selecting a new group once we kind of wrap and evaluate the process. But really, really excited to wrap this up in Sydney and Melbourne, and we'll expand this in 2024. Then, as I mentioned before, we've got our delegation out to NT. Possibly one of the most powerful things that I've ever done as a human, to go out to Black Tank and spend time and listen and understand with the amazing people and see the work that the King's Narrative do firsthand. It's a little bit different this year. These are some of the amazing leaders. We had, I think, 8 from agency side, 8 from partner side, and we spent a night under the stars. We shared, we ate together, we dined together. We went and saw parts of Australia which are rarely seen at all by Anglo-Saxons, and it was a really, really moving and powerful experience. And if you don't believe me, just speak to anyone that went on there. This will be happening again in 2024. We've got a date set for the 7th of March, and it will be going for 4 days to the 11th. We'll start off in Uluru, and we'll work our way up to Alice Springs, and we'll see a lot of the country out there with the King's Narrative. So if you have any questions about it, reach out to Beck and myself, and you'll receive more and more information about this. But it's up for expressions of interest at the moment. We're really, really excited. Just some of the things that we actually got to do and experience. And this was a photo of Tyson and him telling the story of time and the journey of the First Nations in Australia. Absolutely, really, really impactful. In June, there's Cans and Cans. So we've got 50% discount off for all members. So it is one of the more fun events. We want to know if you're coming. Let us know. We've got special IMAA member events happening throughout the occasion where we can network and mingle with our peers. And this year, it was a lot of fun for those who went. We're also exploring some content with Cans and Cans specifically to ensuring it delivers across what indies want to hear about. So if you're attending, there's a discount, but also there are events happening. So let Beck and myself know about that. In July, we've got our Principal and Partner Night in Queensland. That's the Christmas in July event. The board will be travelling up there for this. And I believe we'll be going to Noosa as well for a board meeting up there at Peregrine Digital Hub, who might be hosting that. Pip, we might see you up there.
Sounds good.
The Principal and Partner Night in Melbourne will happen in October. So excited about that. The Sydney Principal and Partner Night plus our awards will happen in November. We're really, really excited about that. Breaking news. There's my gift for the day. We've got Pitchella. So part of our focus for this year is about putting a spotlight on how well indies do it. So this is about an event where the juniors, probably the under 30s, will be answering a brief, working in groups, answering a brief. It'll be judged by CMOs. They'll be using assets from our partners, and the brief might be something around a charity. It might be the King's Narrative. We're going to start working on a working group, and if there's anyone who has an appetite in being part of the work group, maybe you've worked on Young Lions or something, that would love to hear from you and pick your brains on how this is all going to work. But we're really, really excited about this being our major thought leadership event. It's going to put a great spotlight on the independent sector and ensure that all of the industry know how good the emerging brains are coming out from the indies. And, oh, here we go. This is a look at last year. 2024, we're going to be having this event again. So we're just working out the location. It might not be at the zoo because it's a little bit hard to facilitate, but we're going to be having a major event in the second half of the year. So watch the space on that. Always on. So this is what we're always going to be doing. Government lobbying. We're going to be working with the government. We're going to be doing networking events and also bespoke events around the country. We're also going to be working with discounts and group deals for the industry. We're also going to be working with education, continually educating, whether it's webinars, whether it's live events, whether it's the academy. We're going to be doubling down on education, and then advice if you need advice in any kind of way. Encapsulating everything, guys. It's going to be a ginormous year next year. We're going to be here to support and evolve. The three big things I would say is the Melbourne event on the 20th in Feb. The academy, we want everyone to really lean into the academy. It's your one-stop shop for training for your staff, and we build it for you guys. So we want everyone to lean in if you haven't already. And then the third one is going to be our major event. The next steps, if you're interested in the Sydney FC, we're going to send some communications around about that. That's on the 17th and 19th of January. Publishing a news special event. 8th of February, communications, I think, has got RSVPs have gone out for that. The greatest media show in Melbourne, the 20th, I believe the state of the date's gone out about those ones. Expressions of interest for cans and cans, let us know. Clean Up Australia Day, let us know for the 12th of March. And the King's Narrative, if there is an appetite to go out and see places that that you wouldn't normally get to see, I highly advise you put your hand up for that. It's once in a lifetime opportunity, and it's going to fill out really fast. So we'd love to hear from the leaders who want to be involved with that. And then finally, save the date on the 22nd of November, 2024. A couple of you were talking about that already. Saving the date for that. So that's really exciting for our AGM. Okay, so that's just from me. This is my section, kind of wrapping up, just saying massive thank you to the board, massive thank you to the past board who have handed over the keys this year. Thank you to the leadership team and all of you who have helped so much to make the industry what it is today and make the IMAA. A massive thank you to my team, to Beck Coulson, who was an absolute powerhouse, to Nikki G, and a special shout out to Tian is due to give birth to twins any moment now. So we wish her all the best in the next chapter and welcome her back at some point in the new year. So thank you, guys. Now, this is another section of what we're going to talk about today, our special guests. So first, I'm going to introduce Pip. Pip is from a very interesting company called Springboards. Some of you might have heard me speak about it before. I was up and had the pleasure of speaking at the Perigorium Digital Hall earlier this year. And a young man put his hand up at the end when they were talking about questions, and he put his hand up and he said, I've got a question about, how indies are, embracing AI into the future. And I, answered it around, well, large formats of, data will be suppressed, will be, this kinds of things. And then as immediately he asked a question, I realized that I was talking to a man infinitely smarter than myself, which is most conversations I have on a daily basis. We caught up for breakfast today, and he showed me what he's been working with Springboards, and it blew my mind. It is absolutely amazing, because I thought, large formats of data, those kinds of things, yes, AI is going to impact this. This is the art of it. Now, without further ado, I'm going to hand over to Pip to do a better explanation for me, give him a quick overview in 7 minutes of what he does. Pip, I'm going to stop presenting and let you take over the screen.
Cool, beautiful. Let me share. So hello. Let me find the right screen first. Here we go. All right, cool. So my wife and I started this business about a year ago. Our experience is about 15 years in agencies. So we started in media shops in Sydney, ended up in creative shops in San Francisco, and we ended up in Noosa about 3 years ago and got laid off. I didn't have a job, didn't want to move back to Sydney, so we started this business. I'm going to show you guys 2 slides, and then I'm going to do a demo, because the demo is the most interesting thing. So we like to say that we're a shortcut in the creative process, and that we combine agency intuition and the experience with the speed of artificial intelligence. And what we think it means is that now you start it good, yeah? The key thing though is that you still need good people and creative people and great talent in control to get to great work. So let's do a demo and let's show you how this thing works. This is probably too ambitious. We're going to go through in the next probably 5 minutes, 15 insights, 5 campaign ideas, the comm strategy, 3 executions, and some concept art. But let's see what we can do. So I'm just going to pick a brand. There's a Bic pen on my table, so we're doing Bic. And now we're going to generate 15 insights for Bic. As you guys know, insights are the jump-off point for creativity. So we're going to give you 15 insights now. I'm going to pick one of these, and we'll take them through to the rest of the work. Okay, so here we go. Bic pens aren't just writing tools, they're little time machines for preserving thoughts for future generations. So that's kind of a nice idea, thinking about a pen, of something that it allows you to put pen to paper to take through different generations. So that's the insight. There's 15 others there. I don't have time to read them all. So from there, we'll take that through to 5 campaign ideas. So I'm going to drag this up, and now we're going to get 5 campaign concepts jumping off that insight. We give you 5 styles of campaigns. I love print ads, always my favorite medium. So you get a damn print ad, whether you like it or not. We give you a fun idea, an ingenious idea, a cultural commentary idea, and a participation idea. So I'm going to flick through some of these and have a look at and see if there's any that we like. Here we go. Here's our print ad. It's called The Endless Tale, a mesmerizing high-def photograph of a single Bic pen that through forced perspective appears to stretch into the infinite horizon of an open book. And it's got the headline, Begin a Never-Ending Story. So there we go. That's our little printout idea. And we'll look at maybe a cultural commentary idea as well. So we're going to have this campaign called the Bic Chronicles, where every pen sold comes with a unique code that unlocks a digital portal. There you can write your thoughts and your aspirations or messages to your future selves. And these digital letters are going to be time capped, and then you'll see them in 10 years' time. Cool. So it's a really nice little idea of how do you take an old school tech like a pen, create it with like a digital way of fostering and sending future messages to yourself through this little cultural commentary campaign to think about writing tomorrow, but also preserving today. So that's our campaign. So that was 5 campaigns. We've picked one. Now I said we're going to do a comm strategy. So I'm going to drag this into our strategy. We're going to have young people is our audience. Our strategy is to get young, make this up, people to use a pen instead of a computer. Cool. And the creative idea is write tomorrow, because I saw that in that line, which is write today, inspire tomorrow is where I saw that from. So here's our comms framework now for our strategy. So to get young people to start using a pen and with the idea write tomorrow, the first barrier we have is perception of pens have been outdated. So now we want to showcase them as tools of creativity. We're going to do Instagram and Pinterest campaigns with influencers showing about art and calligraphy. The second barrier is that digital convenience is too fast, and people is always going to prefer that. So now we're going to position pen as a mindful, unplugged activity. So it's a little bit about mental health. And there's also a lack of perceived utility in daily life. So we're going to highlight practical daily uses of pen writing. Cool. So that's our little comm strategy. And now we'll take it into executions. The idea is called Write Tomorrow. And we're going to take this into, oops, that was campaigns, Write Tomorrow. And what we're going to do is there's a huge drop down here. I'll just do some Twitter ads, and we'll do a we'll do a TV. We'll do a TV script. Why not? And we'll do some brand partnerships. Here we go. Okay, so now we're getting into some executions. You get a tweet here called "Just finished writing my to-do list for 2023," and you've got a picture of a cat intentionally staring at a blank piece of paper. You've got this other old tweet called "Why did the Bic pen feel awesome?" Because it just wrote its first dad joke. There you go. That's actually a really good dad joke for a pen. You get the idea. You got your TV script, and then you got your brand partnerships. One with Duolingo, one with Headspace with Nat Geo. We're now going to create a concept, and I promise this is going to be the last thing because I'm taking you guys through a shitload in 5 minutes. But now I'm going to create concepts. So I'm going to take that Bic Chronicles idea, I'm dropping that in, and now we're creating concept art. So we're going to turn this into like a concept art for a pitch deck. You could use this for just doing stock imagery or whatever, but I'll give that a few minutes to load. But that's kind of it. So like I said, we are AI that's built for agencies. We try to get people to focus on what a good insight is, what a good problem statement is, what good creativity looks like, by giving them a jump off point and tonnage of ideas that they can create really quickly, and then work out how that translates that into something really, really powerful. How am I for time, Sam? Do I have a bit more time? Because I can keep chatting.
Yeah, keep going.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to show you actually the best way to use this tool while that loads up. Okay, so the best way we see this tool is working, I'm going to give you one real life example. This is for Patagonia. This concept that came straight out of the tool was called nature's dressing room. So imagine you've got this beautiful landscaping image. In the middle of that image, you've got a mirror, and on top of that mirror is a Patagonia jacket, yeah? And it's got the headline, "Dress for the world you want to retain." Okay, so that was the spark of inspiration. I pull that into my workstation and I edit that. I don't want the jacket on the mirror. I want someone standing in front of the mirror wearing the jacket. And I want them looking straight through that mirror as if the mountains are a reflection of their values, not looking at themselves in the middle of beautiful wilderness. And instead, I want the headline, "Dress for the world you want." So it's not about dressing for the job you want, it's about dressing for the world you want. Okay, so that one example, 5 seconds for inspiration, 5 minutes to rewrite it, but 15 years of experience to go, that's an interesting idea, but this is what it should be. And then take that into concept art in another 5 or 10 minutes. Patagonia, dress for the world you want. And that's where we think this tool is just so, so powerful, where you put it in the hands of people who know what the fuck they're doing, know what the client wants, knows what they need, can focus on the work, the insight, the problem statements, and just focus on producing really great work. And then concept art for our little big pen of writing their little futures themselves. That's that. I'll let that go. I think I got through 15 insights, 5 campaigns, a comm strategy, 3 executions, and concept art in 7 minutes.
Yeah, and I think people we spoke, it was kind of described as you know, it's not going to, what is delivered is not the finished product, but it's 80% there. It takes you to the point of like, I tweak this and we do it. I find it absolutely fascinating. I might just open up. Does anyone have any questions? Whilst we've got people, you were saying before that you was just being leaked on Twitter or something, what you're doing, and you've been mandated around the world.
Yeah, we there's a woman that Amy and I used to work with called Zoe Skaman, who's got a very big Twitter following. She saw our demo and leaked it without mentioning our name, but someone said, was it Pip and Amy at Springboards? And then effectively we got leaked, and now we've been chatting to agencies all over Europe and the States, trying to scale this thing as quickly as we can, but doing so without breaking our own mental capacity, trying to get some sleep.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely amazing. Congratulations, and doing it out of, you know, out of Queensland. I think it's really, really interesting. Does anyone have any questions for Pip whilst we have him before he gets sucked into Europe or America and becomes a trillionaire? Maybe not. We can pass on any questions or share stuff about it as well in the future.
Yeah, we do. So I just saw one question from Michael. I didn't mention we do have a discount. So we are going to have a 20% discount for IMAA members. So that is for everyone. We haven't discounted anyone else. If you guys are interested, drop us a note. We can do a proper demo and do it from there. The costing we're still working out. So that's the question that came up. Where we've been set it at the moment, where people are paying for it, is for a month's access, it's $1,000 a month. The more seats you get, the cheaper it gets. Now, the thinking there is that $1,000 a month is priced similar to like a freelancer day rate, but instead of that, you get, instead of hiring a freelancer for one day, you give this to your top staff for the whole month and make them 5 times faster, and you do it that way. There's also 2 ways to buy this. One is off the shelf. That's the way that we like strategy and creativity. The other is custom models, where we take an agency's philosophy, their style, the work they're really proud of, the work that inspires them, their terminology, and we rebuild it for them from the ground up. And then how do we scale through Europe and serve indies in Australia? We hire people. So that's what we're trying to do at the moment.
There's lots of questions for you. Jeez.
Okay, landing page for site guide, springboards.ai is the website. The information we provide to Springboard, is this on Springboard? No, it's not. So anyone who has a contract with Springboards, they own the IP of all of the outputs that go through the tool. So we give you the IP. The data that comes out of it does not influence anyone else's work. So what you guys do in your seat does not impact anyone else's. The other thing I'll mention is that this is also a safer way to access ChatGPT, because anything that goes through our tool OpenAI or Anthropic, or use multiple models, are not allowed to train their models based on the data that goes in or out of our tools. So that's that. I think they're the main points.
Yeah, really clever. Well done, mate.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing it. Every time I see it, it gets better and better. So we'll share information. Queenslanders rock. Thanks, Anthony.
I'm originally from Sydney, if that counts for anything, or doesn't count for anything.
Thank you for that. Next, I'm going to introduce Adam O'Neill. Adam O'Neill's from a company called Public AI. This was a really, really interesting tool where I won't give it away. I'll let him explain it in 7 minutes. But Adam, I'm going to let you take over and explain it. But another tool that I kind of went, this is going to change the industry a bit in the way that we do things. So over to you, good sir.
Totally. Thanks, Sam. And it's great to see you bringing the indies together, and a bunch of people that are giving it a go, starting their own business, running agencies, because I know what it's like. As a former media agency guy, I left corporate in 2017 and started doing consulting, and then 6 months ago I joined Public AI to launch this platform in Australia. So I can definitely. I'm leaving corporate and going in. What else was I going to say, Pip? What an epic demonstration. It's hard to follow something like that because there's just so much goodness happening. And I really like seeing some of the application of AI. One of the reasons I joined this company is because I felt that we were spending so much time conversations talking about creative development that media was almost an afterthought, and everything was kind of getting compressed into that, 2 weeks before a campaign launch, to go and actually do something with a media campaign. That's where things were falling over. So I think this is another application of AI, particularly around the creative space. And, we talked a lot about personalization. We've talked a lot about programmatic. We spent a lot of time getting all the connections and the plumbing and all that stuff working, that finally it feels like about the right time to talk about creative and brand again. And that's one of the reasons why I joined this company, because I felt that that bit hadn't been addressed yet. So who are we? Public AI, we're a human and AI studio, specifically designed for programmatic and digital advertising. So we're trying to feed that machine of better quality creative content, and using AI to do some of the heavy lifting, both in the ideation and the generation of that content. We're trusted by 400 brands around the world. In Australia, we're really, really young. Sam, thanks for looking out for us and helping us talk to more agencies, because we're really only 5 and a bit months into this. In Australia, we're working with Tourism Australia, and we've got a pilot running with Omnicom at the moment. And we also have partnerships with 3 of the digital tech companies for distribution around programmatic. We really focus on delivering creative excellence and kind of trying to get that mix right of machine application or AI support to what's intrinsically some human generated assets. So we look similar in some ways to a text-based prompt. You can feed in some brand assets, whether that's video or photography, or even plug us into a data management warehouse where you've got all your creative assets, and then put some text prompts over the top. And rather than just sort of the traditional process where you'd have a creative director or a product manager or a brand manager or a CMO deciding which creative territory to go after, we'll go and explore all of those different territories just as you would like a keyword campaign. So we'll generate a lot more ideas and a lot of different creative directions in a very short space of time. And then it's up to the team to decide whether to publish them all and go and see, let the results determine the best direction for itself, or start to break some of those territories down and start pushing them out programmatically and testing them. So it's a much more iterative process of going through creative development and then letting the campaigns themselves determine which ones are going to be the most successful. Another big innovation that I found with this sort of way of using AI is that we can generate a bigger volume of assets and use the AI to kind of figure out where someone might be in the journey, and then serve them content to help them through the journey. So one of my frustrations, just as a person, is that when you see a lot of ads online, they're always trying to drive you straight to a purchase or straight to a conversion, but you might not be there yet, particularly with a higher value purchase that you need to research and do a bit more homework about. So we can do the videos and the animations and the bright things that get your attention up front. Then we can start to show you features and options as you move through, and then as you're starting to move towards a conversion, we could do a lead gen form, or we could send you off to a landing page or something to complete the purchase. So it really does do that full journey. And this, at the back of the document, there's some more specific examples that I can send after this. When it comes to, so now you've got your concept and you've got your ideas, and you've got a bunch of different creative units, we can work with you guys to amplify them programmatically. So we can either pass over tags to you, or we can do some collaborative buying. We have seats with Yahoo, Google DV360, and also with Microsoft Xandr. So we can also do buying either through private marketplaces or through open exchange. But because we are focusing on iterative content generation, we don't have to go for the long tail of programmatic. We can focus on, the top 500 sites, which then gives you better brand trust, and gives you better reach and better numbers, rather than having to go for the long tail of inventory. Then the really cool stuff starts to happen. So once you've published the campaign and it's live, as soon as you get above, kind of around 100,000 impressions, the campaign's really learning as it's going, and it's starting to pull some of those insights back into the studio. So each piece of creative is individually tagged and fingerprinted, and that's done by the platform as it's generating the assets. So that saves a lot of time for ad ops, but then each piece of creative is starting to get served, and where each piece of inventory is getting scored. It's looking for things like themes, different text, different combinations of headline, description, call to action, colors, the themes of the creative formats that we're using, and all of that info is being passed back in real time back into the studio to keep the creative getting better over time. What this means for a campaign is the difference between the best performing creative asset and the second best is usually 3 to 5 times in difference. So that AI working in the background really works hard to deliver what it thinks is going to perform the best, and it's taking that feedback and passing it back into the creative development. So that's super interesting. So we're not just generating creative in these formats, but we're also plugging it into the programmatic buy and then dynamically enhancing that over time. So it just keeps getting better, and it kind of creates that virtuous loop of improvement when it comes to campaign performance. We've got a tiered rate card, which I can share with you after this, but we're trying to encourage people to use the platform, particularly as we're new to Australia. So how would it work in reality? So we'd be able to help you develop the assets. If you've got if you've got brand video, images, logos, things that you can share with us, we can use that to create some of these executions. We can work with you on the media buying. If you do have programmatic buying, then awesome. We can pass tags straight over to you. If you don't have programmatic buying, we can help you execute that as well. We'll then give you links to go and approve the content, so everything can still go through the traditional governance and approval processes, whether it has to be legal compliance or you want to share stuff with the client for sign-off. We can do that very easily through a URL that they can click into and see all the examples. Ad ops, super easy because it's pretty much generated as it's forming the different creative assets. Reporting, we can also do, we can give you access to the platform, or you'll be able to see it through your DSP of choice. And the winners out of this are the brands and the teams that test and learn the platform. So yes, we have a special offer for IMAA members. In order to encourage more adoption of the platform, we'll give three months of managed service free of charge. that means that you'll have access to our creative strategists and our producers to produce the assets. We'll help you to go through that development stages, and also obviously there's going to be heaps of questions from clients as to, is this brand safe and how's it generated and do I still get to approve it and all those sorts of things. So we'll help you through those stages. The platform itself does do brand building or brand experiences, we call them, but it also does performance assets as well. We also, that sort of mind map that I showed you before, that can be quite helpful for if you're looking at mapping out different territories, or you do have questions from clients around creative that you want some support in answering. And we'll also integrate some brand lift studies, and we'll write up a proper performance review for you outside of the platform so that you can use it for sharing with clients or for your own agency PR as well. So we'll put a quick a time limit on that. If you get back to us by the end of January with a minimum budget of 10K, we'll be able to put these offer parameters together for you. But look, really happy to have a chat and sort of follow up with this afterwards. There's a lot more I could show you in terms of creative examples and the workflow itself. But yeah, please get in touch. My contact details are here, and I look forward to having further chats with you guys as well. So yeah, thanks, and happy to address any questions.
Thank you, Adam. Any questions for Adam, guys? We can connect. We'll share these documents on the closed leadership LinkedIn group this afternoon. Thank you, Pip and Adam, for that. Really interesting tools. I get to see a lot of tools in my role, so really interesting tools, and congratulations on your work you're doing. The two tools, obviously AI themed. I just want to remind everyone again that later on today you're going to receive two big thought leadership pieces that we've been working on. The AI guiding principles. So we are leading the industry in this way, but the AI guiding principles are the way that you'll be asked about more and more about how your business works with AI, and this is a good way of guiding you through it in an ethical kind of way. The second one is future trends. Great one for your all of your clients will be asking, what are the future trends can you present during? This is a great starting place for you. So you get those in your inbox. We'll share the guys' details later on today in the closed LinkedIn group. I want to say thank you to everyone for making the IMAA as amazing as it is. I want to say thank you to our special guests. Thank you to the board. Thank you to my team. Have a great and safe Christmas. We're back on the, I think the 3rd of December. So just call if you need anything or send us an email. And let's have a great 2024. It's going to be an amazing year. If this last half of any side of it, it's going to be a great year for Indy. So congratulations on your hard work. And we'll see you in the new year. Bye, guys.
Thanks, Sam. Cheers.
Thank you.